cancer, and so that, bumps you into stage 4. And so, of course, my mind's, like, going, I don't even know what happened. It was like an out-of-body experience from there the rest of that day. I don't remember, like, leaving her office. I don't remember getting out and going to my local actual cancer center because I was, like, set up for immediately after there to go meet with my, like, actual oncologist that I'd be working with. And, like, anything that anyone said to me that day, the oncologist said or whatever, was just kind of a blur.
Because it's like whenever all you hear
remembered.
All you hear is those words is cancer, because I can remember the day that I got the news of my diagnosis, and all I heard was, you have breast cancer. And as the nurse was proceeding to ask me questions, I could not remember anything that she said or questions that she asked. I was just all I heard was, you have breast cancer. So I understand completely how you feel especially when hearing the news that you have this disease. But I can only imagine, just listening to the both of you, Nani and Deltra. First and foremost, let me just say that you two are some amazing, amazing and strong women. And for you to be striving and surviving with this beast of a disease, I have such admiration and respect for the both of you, because you two are not letting this bring you down. And I think and this right here, just watching you on social media, you're letting others know that have been diagnosed with this disease that it's not a death sentence. You can continue to live your life and be happy and just thrive and survive the way that you two are doing. So I commend both of you for what you are doing, and, again, coming on the show and sharing your stories, because somebody needs to hear this. And especially for those that don't know what metastatic breast cancer is and how it affects not only your body physically but mentally, because that's a whole nother issue too. The anxiety, the fear that you feel when not knowing where else in your body that it's spread it to. So I want to you two ladies about your treatment. What does your treatment consist of? So Nani, I'm gonna go back to you. Nani, what does your now that we know that your cancer has now spread to your brain, like what's your treatment going to be now, and what is it going to be now that is in a new part of your body?
So as of right now, I'm on chemo. I'm doing a chemo called Doxil, and it's once every 4 weeks. To where before I started that, I had to go every week for 3 weeks. So, but this one, because it's so intense, it's once every 4 weeks, and people actually she wasn't going to really try this at first, but when she talked to me about it, she said, usually this is given to women, or men in their stage 2, and they call it the red devil.
Yeah.
And she was like,
I had to take that.
Okay. And she was like, at that stage, it's kind of rough. But, I have already been through other treatment that was really, really rough. So I was like, hey, if you think it's worth trying, let's go ahead and try it. So when we, like I said, now we're doing that every 4 weeks. And then I'll go back to repeat my scans 2 weeks to see how, because I have not had any type of shrinkage at all since I have been diagnosed now for 2 years. So when we did the recent scan, believe it or not, I had some shrinkage in the brain tumors. And when I tell you, I was so excited because for me, that was my second treatment, and for me to have shrinkage like that, I was like, okay. Now, it wasn't nowhere else, but I take that. I was like, I'm taking it. So we're going to do 2 more treatments. I actually get my second treatment tomorrow, and then we'll do another scan to kind of see how it's doing for my brain and the rest of my body. So that's kind of where I'm at now as far as having the treatment. They had me on steroids because the headache and the dizziness was like really bad. And the steroids didn't really quite help all that much. Actually, I think it was making it a little bit worse for me. So she took me off the steroids and going to try another type of steroids to kind of see if that will help as well, because that's one of the things that I had to kind of like try to control myself as far as anxiety, because it's almost like it's a fear of the unknown. So when you have these things that's happening in your body and you don't know what's going on, it's like, okay, you don't know what to expect. So it kind of sends you, it kind of freaks you out a little bit. And what I tell people, because they always ask me, like, how are you able to do this? How are you able to fight through the pain? How are you able to get up every morning and continue on with life?
Right.
And like I tell them, I had to completely change my lifestyle. Everybody don't agree with, and have the same God, whatever. I had to have a relationship with God. I had to have faith. I had to pray. Yeah. There was no way I could continue living life the way I was, because I would get up every morning and I would cry because I didn't know if that was my last day or not. And when you surrounded by people and you see that they're dying every day, and that's why a lot of folks don't like to talk about stage 4. And you have to talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, you don't know. I still have people asking me, what is MBC? I had a lady tell me, oh, I thought and I was told that black women couldn't get breast cancer because, and I believed it. She was like, I believed it because I never see it on TV. I never seen magazines. And that was one of the strong reasons why I started advocating, why I started speaking, because it's like, honey, whoever told you that, or that was a lie. Yes, we can. I'm living proof. But like you said, it's not a death sentence. You have to really find what works for you. And for me, having a relationship with God and prayer, that is what helped me get back, because I have a will to will. I have a family. I'm still young. There are things I want to do. And I know, it's not even about me anymore. Because I used to ask myself, why this happened to me? Why me? This not even supposed to happen to me. It's only one of my family. I'm still young. What in the world? So, and I had to look at it. It's not even about me anymore. I'm just thankful that, it wasn't my sister. It wasn't my brother. It wasn't anybody close to me. And if I have to be the one, to be active and show people what it's like and how you can still live life and still love and do what you gotta do, then that's just what it is. But I'm gonna fight this thing and do what I gotta do, because like I said, I have a will to live.
Absolutely. And you said something that really hit home as you were sharing your treatment. You talked about the lady that said that she didn't know that black women could get breast cancer. This is why we do what we are doing, because that is a myth, if I have ever heard one. And that is the reason, the very reason why women of color get diagnosed or die from this disease at a 40% higher rate than white women, because they don't have the knowledge of breast cancer, let alone metastatic breast cancer. And when they do get diagnosed, or when they do go to the doctor and they get diagnosed, they're getting diagnosed at the later stages where there won't be any options for treatment. So being an advocate, like you said, not only being an advocate for others to get the information out there, but it is very, very important to become an advocate for yourself, because you're the one that knows your body better than anybody else. So thank you for that. Thank you for telling us about your treatment. Deltra, let's get with you. What's your treatment plan? And now that you have MBC, what does your treatment plan consist of?
My treatment plan is actually IV chemo, and it's kind of my, I'll say only option really, because of the type of cancer I have, triple negative. So that usually responds best to IV chemo, so I don't have, I don't get to take a oral one, and I can do it at home or anything. So every week I am in the infusion chair 2 to 4 hours getting my treatment. And the treatment I'm getting right now is a chemo called Abraxane, and that's combined with an immunotherapy called Tecentriq. And so far, it's very tolerable. I mean, Of course, they give you like a long, scary list of side effects, and everyone's body is different and, responds differently. I just feel really fortunate that the main response I've had is just like some fatigue, but I always joke that it's hard to tell if it's from the treatment or from the fact that I have 5 children, so I've felt fatigue for a long time.
And you know what? And that was going to be my next question to you, because you have small children. So how do you manage that and being a mom of young children?
Yeah.
Because I know that in itself can be a lot.
It is. It takes, you really have to have a village. Like, a village feels like a requirement. If you don't have one and you're going through something like this, you have to build one. Like, it's so important. Like, I need a village, they need a village. We, all need support. And so it's just been surrounding ourselves with support. I'm really lucky I live close to family, so they're all there and super supportive. And then we have lots of friends, and we have always homeschooled, so we have a large community around us of homeschoolers, and they have just swooped in and helped so much with things like meals and classes and getting kids to where they need to go. So that's
awesome.
made a huge difference.
And Nani, I know that
have all had to go with the flow.
Absolutely. And Nani, I know that you have a son, if I'm not mistaken. You have children.
Yeah,
you have children.
My oldest son, he's 21. My oldest son's 21. I have a 20-year-old that's in college, and then I have he just turned 10 here on Thanksgiving Day. And like she said, you have to have a village, because it is real. My kids, they handle it different. Like my oldest son, he was upset because, being a man is like, okay, my mom is sick, there's nothing I can do for her. And then my middle child, he was more of, making sure that I was okay. When is your appointment? What did the doctor say? What do you do next? He was kind of like more scared, didn't know what was going to happen. And then my youngest one, which is 10, he was he's more like my caregiver. Mom, you need anything? And he's like my big support. Oh, Mom, don't worry, we got this. And the stringers today, he's just so positive about it. And he understands a lot. And I be honest with my children, because for one, I want them to understand. I want them to know. I want them, down the line, if I'm not here, I want them to be able to share, when they have kids and they teach their daughter, how to protect themselves and the signs to look for. So I be open and honest with them to let them know everything, that pretty much goes on.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, and absolutely. Having that village, you have to. And just like Delta said, if you don't have that support system, you need to build that support system.
Yeah.
Because you can't do it. You cannot do it by yourself. And because you need that support to get you through not only each day, but sometimes every hour, sometimes every second of the day, just to give you that strength that you need just to make it through. So I am so grateful for your villages, because they are just as important in your treatment plan as the medicine itself. And not only that, but Nani, just like you said, just for those that do believe in God or believe in a higher power, having that faith. Because I know as an early stage survivor myself, that's what got me through. Was my really kicked in, and I had to have that. I had to have that conversation with God when I got diagnosed. We had to have a one-on-one, And I'm like, Lord,
yes, ma'am.
the doctor just
Yeah.
told